Welcome back. It's time now for Media Watch, and for that I'm joined by James Creedon. Hello, James.
Good evening, Annette.
Well, not surprisingly, the media's gone into overdrive in regards to Hurricane Sandy.
I guess the media tends to like a storm, and they tend to whip up a lot of comment and noise around it. It's one of these stories that I suppose it's easy for the media to cover. You've got lots of pictures, lots of reactions. People are afraid.
It is the most populated area of the United States.
That's right, and it looks like a nasty, nasty storm indeed. So just to look at that coverage in the US media, the New York Times, obviously, front page, front and top of their website, new landfall storm pounds East Coast. And the Poynter Institute, Journalism Institute, have found 5 creative ways that journalists are covering Hurricane Sandy online. I suppose if they're covering it, they may as well try to cover it a little bit innovatively. So what you've got, if you go down here, is a webcam in the New York Times office showing a pretty impressive skyline. And of course, a photo showing the webcam of the skyline, in case it's not meta enough already. You have wind maps such as this. This was another item identified by Poynter, which you can zoom on. So if you click on New York City, for example, you can see the exact direction and speed, I suppose, and contours of the wind, which is pretty impressive in and of itself. This I quite liked. They had the most cliched GIFs, and GIFs are those images you play in a loop. And here you have Janice Dean making air quotes around the term perfect storm. Perfect storm, right? So that's a bit of a cliched image that you get during storms. Here you have Matt Gutman, of course, being sent out to sea to get those live pictures of waves battering the shore and him. So good old Matt bringing us those live pictures from the east coast of the US of A. And one tweet here that I found quite amusing. How many times can MSNBC ask if the hurricane is affecting the presidential election? No one, they asks, knows, and worse, no one cares. So that's one person being a little bit cynical about 2 big news stories being connected by news organisations.
I think we're just as equally guilty.
This is it. I was just about to think, actually, are we pointing the finger at ourselves?
We've been asking the same question ourselves, James. Of course, there's been a lot of fake photos doing the rounds on social media.
I don't know what comes over people to post fake images such as this. Maybe it starts out as something genuine, or ironic, and then it gets shared and the meaning gets lost. Let's take a look at this one. Just in time for Halloween, this photo of Sandy, or Frankenstorm, is pretty darn spooky, except it's not Frankenstorm at all. This webpage, Is Twitter Wrong, has helpfully pointed out that is a photo from 2011 of what they call a supercell thunderstorm. These very impressive pictures of storms that are a lot less dangerous than hurricanes, but more impressive in terms of images. And you have lots and lots of them that have been circulating online today. That's just a taste of some of the photos we've been seeing that are not, in fact, Hurricane Sandy, right?
Now, there's been a lot of advice offered as to what to do when you're stuck indoors, and I suspect, James, there might be a spike in the birth rate 9 months from now.
If people are stuck indoors for 2 to 3 days, and that's what some authorities are saying, who knows what they'll get up to. Let's take a look at some of these photos. This is on the New York website, the magazine. Empty shelves in supermarkets, right? You also have, whoops, I'm getting ahead of myself, this particular article saying 100 things to do when you're stuck inside, which I think we can come up with some ideas. The Internet Survival Kit, right? You can download 15 different Wikipedia pages, various different Google searches for when your internet is inevitably disconnected because of the storm and trees falling on cables, etc., etc. So this is a sort of a nifty way for those addicted to being online to get their fix for the week in which the lines are down.
And that wouldn't include your eye, would it?
Absolutely not.
We're certainly not online addicts. And you can also follow the story on Twitter on #Frankenstorm.
That's right, Frankenstorm, and lots of information coming in minute by minute, second by second indeed on that if people do want to take a look. Also #Sandy, obviously enough. Articles such as this one being shared. Here's what New York City's last Frankenstorm looked like. That was in 1938, if I'm not mistaken, when another massive storm hit New York City. Andy Carvin, always worth following on Twitter as well. That's the man who was perhaps a newsroom unto himself for the Arab Spring, working at NPR. And he has a lot of information that he's uploading. He's based in Washington, D.C., including this rather, I suppose, comical tweet. I hear the mailman outside. A brave man.
A brave man indeed. James Creedon, a pleasure as always. Thank you for that.